Salve rapaziada do canal do Brandinho, estamos de volta na caverna. Finally back, coach.
Yeah, we're back in São Paulo, Brazil, and we are exactly 4 weeks out from this year's Arnold Classic. Started Arnold Classic Brazil prep today. Obviously, Rafael was still on his diet post 2024 Arnold Classic in Columbus. Had some flexibility, so what does that mean? Basically, about 80% of his selected food choices were all based around what we've been doing over the last 16 weeks. And there about 20% of his total calories then were coming from other food sources. Food which wasn't necessarily in his day-to-day diet. Not necessarily bad calories, but the ability to have some options. But we are now back in the grind. It's really important that Rafael had a number of days away from the gym just to mentally and physically recover, because obviously over the next 4 weeks there's going to be a huge amount of pressure and excitement going into this year's Arnold, and we are very much looking forward to being a part of this amazing event in 4 weeks' time.
Não stop.
Okay, strong. Good. Perfect. Good. It's like you create your own energy in you, know?
Yeah.
No distractions, just fucking real bodybuilding, you know? A real bodybuilding environment and gym. Very important.
Larga oscilar.
Larga oscilar. Sweet, home sweet. Ó, o carbinho tá dando um grau.
Como é que tá? Você já se sente tipo 100%? Vai voltar ou o corpo tá cansado ainda?
Tô cansado ainda por causa do fuso horário e tal. Então eu dormi bastante ontem, acordei hoje, fiz cardio, tudo, comi, dormi de novo. Aí comi e vim treinar. Vou chegar em casa, vou dormir mais um pouquinho. Vou tirar esse dia só pra realmente colocar o fuso horário em dia, pra no máximo ali segunda-feira já tá redondinho. Porque eu acordei hoje às 7, me forcei a acordar às 7 pra eu fazer o cardio tudo, pra já entrar no ritmo.
Entendi.
Por isso depois eu cheguei, comi e dormi. Normalmente eu como e vou fazer alguma coisa.
Entendi.
Mas aí eu comi e dormi, porque eu tava precisando. Mas eu já tô forçando o meu corpo a se organizar com o horário. Então, tipo assim, tô treinando. Não tô sentindo que eu tô na minha maior força, tá ligado? Porque não tá 100% recuperado. Mas...
Trazendo o ritmo, né?
É. Mas já é bom estar de volta, né? Treinando.
Strong. Come on, Rafa. Strong. Come on. Good. Perfect. Good. Come on. Good. Try. 2 reps. Come on. And again. Good. Pause. Let's go. Last phase. Try. Let's go. Strong. Good. And again. Good. Good set. See that very prominent line between delts and bicep and tricep, you know? Very prominent.
It's a blood, you know?
Yeah.
It's a pump. Tipo assim, eu sinto que eu tô com condicionamento igual tava. Lógico, mais água, né? Mas não ganhei gordura nada porque eu não comi muita porcaria. Comi 1 ou 2 sobremesas só. Um hambúrguer e, mano, o resto tudo comida limpa. Mas eu sinto que a musculatura tá vazia de sangue. Tá cheia de glicogênio, mas tá vazia de pump, sabe? Então tá faltando aquela densidade que nós vamos trazer agora nesses próximos dias de treino. Come on, coach.
Mas isso subiu muito?
Não. Consegui estabilizar, subi 5 quilos só.
Água, né? Tirou, voltei.
So, we're going to be doing a minimum of 4 baseline days now. So obviously Saturday today. Saturday the 8th, I think. So today, tomorrow, Sunday, Monday, Tuesday. Total complex carbs are going to be 500 grams. And I said total complex. Now, of course, there may be some slight symbols coming through the form of a little bit of fruit and also fibrous, but I don't ever include those carbohydrates within our macronutrient profiles, okay? So we're going to be doing 4 days minimum of 500 grams of baseline, reassess how Rafael's physique is looking after those 4 days, maybe push on to high days for a number of days, or I may keep him on the 500, but basically I want his body to get activated again, get back into feeling stress, load and blood, and see how his body responds over the next sort of 4 days, and then from there we'll go further forward, whether we go higher in carbs or whether we go down on low carbs. But obviously he's been putting a lot of great free content out there for you guys and girls at home to extract, learn, and very, very important that you listen and absorb that advice which is coming from Rafael and within his team, so you guys and girls can progress within your own fitness goals, whatever that may be. Keep that back loaded now. Perfect, come on. Good. Right, come on. And again. Good. Let's pause. Drive. Good. Very good.
Olha quem chegou.
E aí?
Parabéns.
Tá bem?
Bom,
De volta.
parabéns.
Foi bom, né?
Nossa. Hi, Nate.
How you doing, buddy? Good picture with you and Dorian.
Yes.
Yes, like the
Nate.
good old days.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Congratulations.
Thank
yeah.
you, mate.
Oh, you're a great guy.
Yeah, it was a good performance, right? Looked fucking incredible. Yeah, made a very positive impression with the bodybuilding community and the judges. So that's obviously was really our main focus. Of course, you focus on places because I think that if you're striving for places, it creates a higher sense of pressure, right? But ultimately, places are irrelevant. It's the impression that you make with the judges. And the feedback from the judges panel was very, very, very positive. So,
it was
you
a
know,
surprise.
for Rafael, it allowed him to see even further forward where his future is in the industry. But at the same time, stay very grounded with where he is now, because obviously the next show is 4 weeks' time. So, yeah, it was a very productive, positive result for him and Karen and everybody. So, yeah.
Foi bom, né?
É,
Tá
mas
doido.
Yeah.
sabemos, né? Não, tava.
Tava mentalizado, né?
Até eu acho que eles não fizeram mais confronto.
Aham.
Colocaram você nos primeiro e no segundo porque
É, alguns árbitros lá, alguns especialistas falaram que eu venci do Senso em algumas poses.
a linha. I say it because it's a surprise for me because I don't confront with the first and second.
Yeah.
Only first and second, because this is the future.
Yeah, but you know what? It's also understand and remember, Hadi's a bit different, right? Because Hadi basically came into the IFBB Pro League Open division and made a huge impression, right? Won his first Pro Open in Canada, took third in the Mr. Olympia. Some people could argue the fact that maybe he should have been first or second, but he came third, and that was an incredible achievement for him, and obviously his coach Hani. But remember, Samson has progressed, and what I mean by that, Samson wasn't placing first or second or third in pro shows a number of years ago. So I feel that his comparisons were justified. I'm not disappointed. I'm very, very happy the way that the comparisons were. But I think on the Saturday, with them bringing him into that lineup even more to see exactly where he was within that second place, it shows you that Rafael has the ability to grow and mature and then become in that top 2-3 constantly to be compared, you know. So I'm happy with everything. There's nothing that I look back on and think I felt the placing was very fair. I felt the judging was very fair. I feel that the feedback from the judges was incredible. So, you know, for me personally as a coach, you know, I mean, I am very happy with everything. Yeah, and I'm also somebody who you've got to step back and think and compress before you form opinions on certain things, because it's only when sometimes you look back and then you study that you see a truer perspective. I'm not somebody who acts upon my emotions, and I feel that the way that the call-outs were and the way that the judging was, I feel it was completely fair with what I saw from the first comparison, second, third, fourth, fifth, etc. So, you know, it was very conducive. It was positive. Yeah. Well, we're here now, back in Brazil. So
Let's work now 4 weeks out.
primarily, this is our productive. You're going to bring a little bit of erectors in anyway, just because of the movement. Good. Excellent. Good. Excellent. Strong. Good. Good. Excellent. Come on. Squeeze. Stay loaded. Good. Good. Yeah.
E aí, como foi lá com o Dória?
Nossa, muito legal.
Puta merda, a hora que eu vi a foto.
Você é louco.
Falei, cara, esse cara imitaram
Cara,
nessa
é
foto.
um filme. Tô passando um filme, sabe? Tinha muita coisa eu esqueci já, sabe? É, puta, mais do
muito
que
tempo.
30 anos. Enquanto eu vi ele, vai ter que começar um filme e tudo chegada lá. Muito legal. Nossa, ele é gente fina pra caramba.
Ele é, né?
Oh, nada de estrela, nada. Oh.
Que legal, fiquei feliz na hora que eu vi a foto. Puta momento, né? Imagina, depois de 30 anos, você encontrar o cara e, tipo, relembrar os momentos e relembrar a foto.
Porque, na verdade, Rafa, minha colocação na Olímpia foi uma aposta, né? Foi Uberman. Foi o primeiro campeonato eu troco, mas quem me ajudou foi a foto do lado dele.
Sim.
Entendeu? Aqui foi tudo.
Ele foi marcante, é pro resto da sua vida. Você vê quantos anos depois vocês estão lá. Foda. Oi, Gê.
Let's move on. Let's set the stage here. As you pull, just throw your chest a little bit. So you bring a little bit low back in. Very good. 2 plates heavier, huh?
E aí, tá bem, Gê?
Tá bem?
Tá bem? Bem.
Tchau, Gê.
Good, perfect. Good, come on, squeeze. Good. Excellent. Good, strong, come on. Pull. Good, come on. Work hard, come on. Drive. Good. Okay. Yeah.
A sua oportunidade para você fazer parte do Brandão Team. Vou deixar o link aqui na descrição, vem fazer parte do meu time. Temos aí uma equipe completa para te dar todo o apoio, fazer toda a estrutura de dieta, de treino em busca da sua evolução. Vem fazer parte do meu time.
Rafa, o Johan tá falando de competir no Brasil, né? A torcida e tal.
É sensacional.
Não, Rafa, em 4 semanas você vai sentir uma coisa, parece que você ganha o Olímpia. Entendeu? O Brasil vai parar, não é só o Brasil, o mundo vai olhar para você, mas o Brasil vai parar.
Não, o Brasil é foda.
Vai estar.
É a melhor competição sempre.
O Nil não deve imaginar como que é aqui, né? Ele vai ficar louco.
Ele já viu alguns vídeos, mas tipo, você sentir a energia ali do negócio.
Galera gritando.
Você tá louco.
Ó,
Vai ficar aí até o Olímpia,
não
até
larga
o Arnold.
você, não larga você não. Esse é.
Ele acredita, né? Acho que nenhum treinador do mundo vai fazer isso. 9 semanas, 10 semanas
Fora de casa, né?
fora de casa. Não é, por mais que ele tenha.
Nobody makes the same like you do. Listen. 9 weeks, 10 weeks, you outside of your home. Arnold finished and you go with him
Go back to Brazil.
back.
back into base camp, man.
It's
like going to a
only
moon,
you,
right?
Only you.
Yeah, I'm passionate about what I do. So I would do it for all my athletes, as long as it's appreciated. Appreciation is more value to me than anything. You know, money, we can save more money, you can spend more money, you can fucking do whatever you want, but appreciation is something which is far more value than money. Do you understand? Good, come on. Strong. Engage, come on. Pull. Drive, come on. Keep working hard. Keep that back fully loaded. Good. Good. Pull. And I like to train with my athletes. I hate telling them what to do. I don't like leg day because I can't train with my athletes on leg day. I wish I could, because I will say this on camera. No fucker would have kept in touch with me on the leg day. I can tell you. I fucking loved leg day. I loved the challenge. I loved challenge of it.
Cavalinho. Puta.
Good. Good, come on. Come on, 2 or 3. Cool. Good. Good. 3 working sets. This is going to be a working set, okay? Rest more than you need to have. Good. Good. Perfect. Good. Good, perfect. Good. Pull, pull, come on. Right. And again. Good. Good, rest pause, excellent. That's face. Come on, half. Stay strong, stay engaged. Good man.
Yeah, buddy.
Come on, strong now. Strong. Perfect. Good. 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 Oh. 2 reps, rest pause. Come on. Go. And again. Good. Last phase. Come on, half. Drive. Very good.
Kurt já tá no controle de todas as refeições ou
Se já tá o quê?
tipo no controle de todas as refeições?
Já.
Né? Tudo 100%.
100%. Até ontem eu tava fazendo 80%. Tipo assim, 4 refeições da dieta normal. E aí a gente comia igual, ontem a gente comeu japonês.
Sim, sim.
Mas, tipo, sem fritura, sem nada.
Sim.
Então,
Só que sem controlar também a quantidade.
mas
é uma
assim,
comida limpa.
nenhum dia eu tava overfood, igual ele fala, tipo assim, comendo mais do que normalmente eu como, entendeu? Por isso eu não consegui controlar o rebote. Porque eu comi bem e bebi muita água. Então vai ter um impacto bem negativo. Bem negativo não. Vai ter um impacto bem positivo esse controle. Tanto que agora, se eu tivesse comido muito, ele ia fazer tipo 4 dias de low carb, não carbo
Sim.
praticamente alto, que é 500 gramas, entendeu? Então tá
Não extrapolou e tá.
tô precisando comer.
Perfect. Good. Good. Strong. 2 reps, rest pause. Pull, pull, come on. Right. Good. Rest pause. Good. 2 reps, you've got to do 2, okay? Pull. Strong. Pull. Drive. Good set. Good set, Hannah. Very good.
Ô, galera, Pino que não tá aqui hoje, que ele passou mal esses últimos dias. Acho que ele falou que foi 2 dias no hospital. Então, acredito que na segunda-feira ele já tá aqui com a gente. Vou trazer pra ele a medalha, pra ele ver.
Boa.
Ele não, ele faz parte disso.
Faz, pô.
Então, é dele também.
Good half. Stay loaded now.
Like this?
Yes. Load. Good. Keep that engaged now. Good. 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 Excellent. Good. Come on. Strong, strong. Control, control. Good. Focus on that outer lat now. Pull.
Era good for me.
On the low pulley.
Did you like that, mama?
Yeah. Oh, looks so much better now with blood in you, mate.
Yeah, right?
Oh, fuck yes.
Yeah.
I didn't like this morning.
Yeah, it looks soft, right?
It just looked like the body had lacked, just looked like the muscle needed stimulus, you know.
Yeah.
It looked like it lost a bit of density, and now we've got blood in there and hydrated really well. The body's coming back alive now. Come on. That's it. Good, perfect. Come on. Drive. Pull, pull, come on. Good. Good.
Fuck.
Okay, so that's back finished. So we've done 4 different exercises. Started off with a straight pull down, close grip. I really like close grip. It's probably my favorite grip because it's so hybrid. So what do I mean by that? You can hit a full filament of muscle activation doing close grip. Very, very dominant in outer lat attachment. You can bring your erectors in, especially if you're really focusing on pulling deep and throwing that arch into your lower back. So it's definitely lower, mid and upper scap based as well. Then we went on to a seated row machine. Really like that seated machine. Probably my favorite row is a low pulley. I feel that the great thing about a low pulley, you can manipulate the movement a little bit more. You can rest pause efficiently, but that seated row machine is really, really good. I really like that. Then we went on to bent over dumbbell row, probably one of my favorite exercises for bringing in large motor unit recruitment very, very early. A very, very high demand muscle fiber activation movement, especially when you're manipulating the weight and keeping the repetitions low. You can obviously incorporate rest pause very efficiently as well. So find that you can create a very positive environment for progressive overload. And then we finished off with primarily a dominant outer lat attachment pull down where you're very much loaded on that outer lat. Very important that you try to disconnect urologically as much as possible your triceps, because tricep activation will be a little bit present. So we've done 4 different movements and about 15 sets total. Now we're going to go into biceps. We're going to do 2 different exercises. Probably going to do maybe 8-10 sets maximum for biceps. So great productive workout back in Sao Paulo since Rafael stepped off stage in Columbus, Ohio. Stay strong, come on. Come on!
Woo.
Não tem como não mostrar.
Just a little bit. Good lower half.
Better than the morning.
Much more density. Much more density. My turn.
Let's go.
Right, let's go. Strong enough now. Come on. Keep those biceps super, super.
Oh my gosh.
Come on. Good. Good. Come on, work hard. Good. Come on. Push, push. Come on.
Good 6.
Now you're looking better.
Looking better, huh?
Fuck yes. Fuck yes. That's the way we roll, see?
Não gostei do jeito que você tá aparecendo, não. Você precisa fazer carbo alta e treinar. Aí um treino já dá aquela
Isso hoje
puxada.
cedo.
Hã?
Isso foi hoje de manhã?
Foi cedo, antes do cardio. Aí falou, a gente precisa carbo alto e treinar. Seu músculo tá precisando de pump. Falei, vambora. Aí agora já deu uma mudada.
Nossa.
Ok. Be back, bro. Be back, coach. Hey, I'm gonna drop you one. Strong today.
Quite tasty. This is the dinner last night. Homemade cooking.
I think you took some turbo.
Meat and trembolone. Good. Work hard. Come on. Come on, half. Let's go. Let's go. 2 reps. Pull strong now. Come on, pull. Let's go. Good. Drive. Good set. Go, come on. Good. Come on, half. Work hard. Come on. 2 reps. Come on. Work fucking hard. Drive. Come on, half. Get him up. Get him up. Get the fucker up. Good.
You go? Vai go.
Just seems so quick. I think I choose a weight where you can do 20 reps. Get more rest then. Come on, half. Good. Pull. Drive. Come on. Good. Come down. Come on. Strong now. Come on. Good. Good, half. Good set. Good. Drive, drive, drive. Good. Good set.
Galera, esse é um dos melhores exercícios para bíceps. Isola 100%. Consegue ativar do início ao fim. Faça.
Tá meio grave do seu braço, parece.
Tá acompanhando a cara e tá de 3 meses.
Temos. Caramba, deixa eu de prazo do jeito que tava. Você
Sim.
consegue ver isso aqui?
O quê?
Tem um músculo novo nascendo.
É braquial. Isso que a gente nem fez nada
É o
de...
duplo bíceps só do lado esquerdo.
Aqui também.
Temos
Ativou.
primeiro treino e retorno.
Primeiro treino de volta ao Brasil. Exatamente 4 semanas para o Arnold Classic Brasil. Vamos continuar trabalhando duro para tentar ir lá e garantir essa vaga para o Mister Olímpia e poder trabalhar com tempo hábil de trazer evolução para o Mr. Olímpia, seguir a mesma linha que a gente fez nessas últimas semanas. Eu acredito que nós vamos poder apresentar um físico ainda renovado lá, se Deus quiser. Então, minha cabeça agora, 4 semanas, trabalhar duro para chegar em cima daquele palco e não deixar dúvidas, trazer um físico ainda melhor do que no Arnold de Ohio e poder garantir essa vaga. Vamos para cima, conto com a torcida de vocês, nós vamos continuar produzindo vídeo todos os dias, vamos gravar o máximo da preparação para vocês. Então, precisamos aí que vocês se inscrevam no canal. Estamos ainda com a meta de 400 mil antes do Arnold Brasil, hein?
Quase,
falta um pouco, falta 8 mil só. Então, se você está vendo aí pela televisão, entra no celular, se inscreva no canal, deixe seu comentário, fortalece os nossos vídeos aí. Tamo junto. Deixa aqui embaixo também o que você quer ver dessa preparação, mais sobre dieta, mais das refeições. Coloca aí que nós vamos mostrar para vocês. Interrompemos a sua programação para avisar você que no site da Probiótica, utilizando o cupom BRANDÃO, você compra toda a linha Monster, os melhores suplementos do mercado, com desconto. Então corre lá e não perca tempo.